Hello and welcome. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Deimos Destroyer. So the Deimos Destroyer is the next in my series of destroyers. And the requirements for a ship to be a destroyer is that it is a more short-range combat ship. It is a Class B ship, which means that you will need your piloting skill to rank 3. And there's no limitations on starship design for this build. Additionally, as a destroyer, it needs to have about 1,000 cargo capacity, about 200 fuel, be able to sleep at least 4, and then have at least a 4 crew. It has to have a cargo hold, an armory, and an infirmary. In general, destroyers are more designed as short-range combat ships. Their whole goal is to put as much firepower on a target as possible without too much concern about extended deployment times. So basically, they're the heavy hitters that you're going to pull out, but they tend to stay close to home unless they have the good support fleets backing them up. Now, as a Deimos destroyer, you can find everything that you need to build a ship right here at the Deimos Star Yards orbiting Mars. And speaking of which, let's head on over there and see how this ship is put together. So as usual, we will go ahead and start with an interior tour, and then we will follow that up with the build, and then I will demonstrate how it works in combat. So let's start with a tour. Now, of course, we are starting in our Ares bridge. I am a real sucker for this bridge. It's one of my favorite in the game. It's a nice, very large bridge with quite extensive windows. There's extra crew capacity in the seating over here. The navigation table. More crew capacity over here. And then right over here we have our cockpit entrance. So you can see that getting into the bridge, we go through the armory. And walking over here, you can also see that this is where we have our landing bay access. We'll go ahead and pop up this ladder later. Next, we go back and we find ourselves in the Deimos 2x1 computer core. Then we can go ahead and open the doors on each side. And these both lead into a 1x1 companionway. And then off of these, I have a 3x1. And in both of these cases, I made them into all-in-ones. Another option that you could do is you could make these into engineering bays, and instead make this, say, your all-in-one or your infirmary. And as you can see, just another all-in-one. Alright, moving back even further, we find ourselves in the captain's quarters with the extraordinarily comfortable bed. Its own private bathroom. And then the one thing I kind of dislike is rather than this ladder being here, they decided to place it here in the captain's quarters. So if you need to go into the cargo, you are going to be bothering the captain while he sleeps. Oh well, he's going to spend most of his time in the bridge, right? Right? But again, you could very easily go ahead and make this 2x1 and this 2x1 be all-in-ones to put engineering bays on each wing. Finally, up this ladder, we find ourselves in the infirmary. Or maybe we don't. There we go. Alright, infirmary. We made it. Woohoo! And then we have our docking bay access. Alright, so entering the Deimos Star Yards, we're going to walk down the aisles over here.
I wish Deimos was exclusively a military contract.
Until we get to
Please
Nikau,
navigate our ship flight. Excellent.
and then we will hop into the ship builder. Now for this ship, I have red, and I have gray. And those are my two colors. So I am making use of the ship flip glitch in this. However, it is basically to hide the reactor, grav drive, and fuel. Um, it is not mandatory to flip glitch to be able to build and play with this ship. So if you don't want to, you don't have to. So let's go ahead and start by deleting everything. And then let's pop on over here and grab our landing bay. Alrighty. So directly behind this landing bay, I'm just going to go ahead and place our 20T hauler cargo. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my Deimos cargo hold. Then I'm going to move up here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my armory. Behind this armory, I'm going to go ahead and place my second 2x1 computer core. And then I'm going to place the captain's quarters. Off the front of the computer core, I'm going to go ahead and place my companionways. And then I'm going to place my 3x1 all-in-ones. Finally, right up here, I'm going to grab the last 2x1, and this is going to be my infirmary. Now, to match what I had, I'm going to go ahead and place my docker right here. And then I'm going to place my cockpit, which is just whatever the best Ares cockpit you can get is, right up here. And this is the general layout for this ship. So, now that we've gotten this far, what's next? Let's go ahead and start by shoving on our reactor and our grav drive. So right over here, I'm going to go ahead and place my reactor, which is of course going to be the 104DS mag inertial. Then for my grav drive, I have a Helios 400. And then behind these, I stuck a pair of 500T HE3 tanks. Note you could very easily swap this for something else. Continuing on here, I'm going to go ahead and add my engines. So I'm using 6 of the Ares DT60 engines. And I'm just going to place those there for the moment. So I will come back and I will attach this with some structural elements in just a minute. But before I do that, let me go ahead and grab my landing gear. So I have 3 of the 320 CB landing gear on this ship. 1 in the middle under each of the 3x1s, and then 1 at the very back of the ship. Alrighty. So that is everything that we need. Let's go ahead and start let's grab our shield first. So for my shield, just somewhere, anywhere on the ship, I have shoved on the 28T Defender shield generator. This is slightly clipped in underneath a Skeg A, but we will get to that in just a minute. Alright, 3 things left. We need to add all of our structural elements, our weapons, and then paint the ship. So let's get to that structure. I'm going to go ahead and start with some Deimos wings. So the important thing here is I've got two wings, and then the engine back here attaches to this wing. Just like so. Then I have two more Deimos wings placed here and here. And then I have the Deimos wing Ds placed right here. All right, that is enough wings. Let's go ahead and add the braking engines. So two braking engines, and then I've got a Deimos cowling. And then I have a Deimos cowling. And then I'm going to go ahead and take and place four Deimos hulls. Copy one off to the side. And duplication glitch them down. And now all of that is covered. Note this is an entirely optional step. If you do not want a duplication glitch to cover those, you do not have to. Similarly, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to grab the Deimos Skeg A, copy it, and then I'm going to flip glitch it into place. You can see it is slightly intersecting with this 2018 Defender shield. If you do not like the flip glitch, you could very easily take that shield and place it up on the side of the infirmary, and then also not cover this, and ta-da, your ship is going to be vanilla. You will not need any flip glitches or duplication glitches to make that work. Alright, let's go ahead and grab those skegs and place them over here. And then grab those skegs and place them underneath the Ares bridge. And right over here, I'm going to go ahead and place a pair of Deimos bellies. Now, it wasn't on the original ship design, but I thought about it later. I'm going to go ahead and flip a Deimos belly into place intersecting with this landing gear. Again, like the rest of it, this is not mandatory. I just kind of like that look a little bit more. Next up, it's time to put on some spines. I want to go ahead and grab a spine A, flip it, and then grab a spine B. Then copy all of this on over to this side. Then I'm going to grab a pair of spine Bs and put them right there over the captain's quarters. Then I'm going to come right here and grab a Deimos tail and a Deimos Skeg A aft. And you can see that is all of the structural elements that I put on the ship. Again, I have one more Deimos belly than was in the original build. Alrighty then. So next step is going to be our weapons. Now for this ship, I decided to go ahead and use my usual PBO 175s, and I can place four of those on the ship. However, rather than adding yet more particle beams, I decided to experiment some and see if I could make this ship work with a mixture of particle beams, lasers, and ballistics. So, for lasers, I added four of the Dragon 251P UV pulse lasers. And then for the ballistics, I added, where is it? Three of the KE-49A autocannons. Now, as per usual, if you joined the Vanguard, go ahead and use your Vanguard Hellfires and your Obliterator auto projectors. And I would probably do, for the best output, the 6 auto projectors, 6 auto cannons, and then 4 PBO 175s. There we go. And again, that price difference is only the adding of that single Deimos belly here. Alright, let's assign our weapons. There we go. And then let's paint our ship. So we're going to go ahead and start. No, let's start by painting everything red. And then what I wanted to do here is basically have 3 stripes of red down the center. And if it's not one of those 3 stripes, then I'm going to have that painted black. Just like so. And there you have it. The Deimos Destroyer. So let's go ahead and take it out for a spin.
When you get serious about your spacecraft, come back to Deimos.
Welcome to Deimos.
So the intent of this is to not only go ahead and demonstrate the destroyer, but also to go ahead and take a peek and see if we can make this work with a mixture of the lasers, ballistics, and particle beams. So let's pop on out here to Serpentis. And there's the Valentine. All right. Well, let's test it out immediately with some hostile activity. All right, so I have 2 enemy ships. All right. We. All right. So with some of these low-level Veyroon ships, clearly we can burst through them easily. All right. Let's go see if we can find a harder target. It's always fun seeing the planets align like this. All right. Again, some low-level Veyroon ships. And he's trying to boost away from me. Oh, do I dock? Nah, I'll just blow it up. Alrighty. So again, just some low-level ships, and they die very easily. Let's go ahead. Keep looking. Want to go ahead and find those Revelation 3s. You can face off against one or maybe two of them. Then we'll know whether or not the ship can survive more difficult combat. Alright. Well, that was uninspired. Alright. Let's see if there's any fun to be had over here. Aside from dodging debris, apparently. And the answer looks like no. Ooh, a Hem 2. And 3 targets. Well, the Hem 2 fell fast. But we've got a Vigil 2. Oop. And a Eulogy 3. Oh, stop boosting. Alrighty. There we go. So even against some higher level ships, it's not the highest level I've ever seen, but seems to be much more the average as opposed to our more the more typical in this video, just entry level ones. Seems to hold up well. So I think that just goes to show that once you do get to this Starship Design Rank 4 and there's Class B ships, you can go ahead and make the lasers and ballistics work. I do think that you need to decide to still carry some particle beams. The lasers are enough to burst through most of the shields, but not all of them. The ballistic's able to burst through most of the hull, but not all of it. And while you could go ahead and back that up with missiles, the missiles are a little unimpressive because they do require you to lock on. But, this is still extreme difficulty. And if you are playing on lower difficulty levels, have fun with whatever you want to play with. So if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.